Hey guys, and welcome to UC Davis StarCraft. I'm AlphaFerg, and I'm doing some casting this morning. You can see that my hair is wonderful. It's glorious. Oh my gosh, I haven't even combed it. Actually, that's a lie. I combed a little bit. My hair is even usually more messed up in the morning. You can talk to any of the guys who went to the tournaments with me. Okay, so I just casted the 3v3 random, and I am going to be going into, what should I cast? Ferg, cast this, another 2v2. You guys up for another group game? Actually, I'm going to cast, wow, I held that. Get up my little broadcasty thingy. And here we go. So this is going to be names, time, production. Okay, so this is going to be Milkiss as our blue. Oh, I thought he was Terran. Oh man, what's going on? Okay, so Milkiss spawning is Protoss, and he's going to be in the north here of Metropolis, and this is going to be Terran. Curiously, I wonder if this might even be that Terran. Probably not. Terran, the Terran player. Very easy, just naming himself after his race. It's like if I walked around saying, hey, my name is White. And he's going to be the red Terran here in the south of Metropolis, so no close air position. It's going to be just the farthest you can spawn on this map. Interesting, we'll see what happens. Milkiss looks like is not going to be fast expanding. He has this first pylon in his base. Typically you see the first pylon here, somewhere around here, if you're going to wall this off and take your natural. Instead, he put it in his base. We'll see what happens. And it looks like Terran as well is just going to wall in here at the ramp and not take his expansion. Pretty interesting in the current metagame. Getting expansions fast is very popular. But of course, we just saw in GSL last night, spoiler alert, close your ears if you didn't watch or don't know the results. Protoss did damn well. It was lots of PVTs, and Protoss won just about all of them. Harding and Oz moving into GSL Codas round of 32. And it looks like he is spending a lot of chrono boost on these probes. It looks like Terran's not okay with his lag. He's angry at it. He wishes it were better. And Milkiss is just gonna build units and stuff and probes and pylons, and he should be putting down this cyber core just about now. What's wrong with your lag? He says, so humbly, so innocently. Yeah, there's only one thing that can be wrong lag-wise, is that it is present in a game. There's no like, oh, my lag was actually really bad because it kept asking me for money. No, lag, if it's there, it's bad. If it's not there, you're fine. And it looks like Terran here is actually maybe... What's he going to spend his gas on? I've been really focusing attention to this in PVT. What did they spend their first 150 gas on? Look at, he's even throwing down a second refinery, but he has no factory on the way. He's just getting more gas. Typically you'll see a refinery or a reactor factory out of the first 150 gas. But it looks like here comes the first factory. He will have more gas soon. He may just choose to make it up if he does a 1-1-1 kind of build. But you can see here that Milkiss is not fast expanding. In fact, he is getting double gas as well. So what will he choose to do? It looks like he's going to do Robo. I really like this. I've been seeing more Robo Prey, and just the punch of those Immortals, I mean, you can break out of your base fast if you get contained. And they just do so much damage. They usually are the ones that rack up those last hit kills. If it was Dota 2, the Immortals would be running in the money, running back to base, wishing you bought an Animal Courier earlier. And that's okay. So there's going to be a 3-gate Robo, very standard kind of one base play. He'll probably bust out and expand, and then we'll see what happens. It looks like Terran, though, hiding an SCV. He just wants to see when the Nexus goes down, because it looks like he is indeed doing the 1-1-1 build. He will try to do some damage in the early game with his early tech. Really quick, gonna check my Facebook. Too many announcements. Oh, interesting. They just gave us an update in Heart of the Swarm, so I will link that in the chat if you guys want to read it. Very interesting. I'll check that out after this game, maybe at the end of it, so you can see my thoughts. Anyways, so these warp gates are done. He put down a Nexus, and he's getting out his Observer, which is very important. The Observer is very important, and then you can get an Immortal. Of course, he doesn't have the money for it. He's getting his Stalkers, which is okay. But the Observer is very, very important. You get to see what army there is. The only thing that can hurt you is if this Terran player is very good and he sees the moving kind of shimmery lines, he scans it and kills your Observer very quickly, which is like the only thing that you have to worry about. But it's if you don't worry about it, you could just super lose. So Milkiss is finally getting here to scout to see what he's up against. He will see the 1-1-1. If he moves just a little bit to its left, there he is. And interestingly, this is a 1-1-1 without Cloak, which is actually really smart against this Robo build, because Cloak is practically useless when there's observers out on the map. But there are a bunch of tanks coming down. He probably will do... Hey, Izzy, my cat just jumped onto my printer. And he'll probably do a push once Siege Tech finishes. You can just get a nice setup over here and try to do a ton of damage. But in the meantime, Milkiss is just getting a lot of units. He's getting up Colossus, it looks like, which actually, if he can get them up, he can do a ton of damage. It looks like here comes the first Banshee out on the map. Please tell me, yep, this is the second Observer, and then he should just build Immortals. Have 2 Observers out on the map. Where did the other one go? Looks like he moved him back here. Okay. You can keep him here, but having an Observer in this kind of position is great, because this is where the Terran army is going to hang out when he tries to contain you. Here comes the first Banshee. Will it do any damage? It already has 1 kill, working on a second. Here come the Stalkers. You'll have to run away soon. He doesn't get the 3rd kill, and he loses about half of his life. Not really worth it, so take him out of there a little bit earlier. You'll be fine. But here comes the push, and that's why I'd say have an Observer in this position, because he'll see this push. Actually, the Raven would kill the Observer, so unfortunately smart for Milkiss, but he doesn't know this push is coming just yet. Maybe have a Zealot at the Watchtower to see this kind of stuff. He's actually going to keep this army in the worst position possible, because here comes the push. Maybe the Observer, yeah, I think the Observer saw just the side of it, and oh no, flying the Observer into the Raven, you're going to lose the Observer! Ooh, it explodes right there. Not even really on Milkiss's part, but there is a Colossus out on the map. And here come the siege tanks. This is not going well. All of Milkiss's army was out of position. Here come some of the probes. Lots of SCVs repairing. Banshee's coming in. Is going to do a ton of damage, and unfortunately this Colossus just isn't able to do too much. He's trying to pick off... Oh my gosh, there's a PDD out in the field. All of the Stalkers go down, and this Colossus is going to fall to Banshees. There's not much army here left for Milkiss. And look at all of these SCVs. There's some Marines here. If he can take out the Marines, he'll be in fine shape. But look at this SCV army. He just is not going to expand. And Milkiss might just lose this base. He's trying to get more units up. He's trying to Chrono Boost out the Colossus. Once he has range, he will be in much better shape. Unfortunately, his macro was slipping just a little. He had idle buildings for a little bit. You can see his gas is way higher than it should be. But oh my god, there's a bunker going down. He's losing the base. Terran is moving up his siege tanks. This is looking pretty bad for poor Milkiss. He's 14 supply behind right now. And he just doesn't have the mineral income that he wants to spend it on stuff. What's he going to build? Observers? Yeah, right. He could build some sentries, but they're not going to live very long. Oh my gosh, double Banshees here. Moving in and taking out a lot of probes. Look at, they have so many kills, 12 between them. The Nexus does finally go down, and there's a bunker here. Bunkers, siege tanks, Ravens, Banshees. This is a 1-1-1, my friends. And Milkiss is going to have to rebuild stuff. Oh no, building a bunker on the high ground. Milkiss, you need to stop this. You need to deny him the high ground vision. But, ooh, he has double Colossus. He's going to have range. He can start poking away at this if he chooses to. But this army is just scary for Milkiss right now. He doesn't have what he needs to bust out, and you can see his army's all the way back here, not where it needs to be. He needs to just be poking away at this kind of as slowly as he can, as safely as he can, trading economically, and what he really needs is something to tank out these siege tanks. Oh my gosh, the Banshees are moving in. I think he's going to try to wait for this third Colossus, but you can see... Here we go, the Colossus are way out of position, and fortunately for him, here comes the Colossus doing a ton of damage. These siege tanks are just not in a great position for Terran, and wow, he's going to break out of this really easily because the Terran player really overextended himself. He put all of his Marines and SCVs up here where they didn't have the siege tank backup, and now these Colossus should be able to clean up. Oh my god, losing so many Stalkers though. One Banshee does survive, but once he takes it out, he'll be in good shape, and with these Stalkers... Oh, almost taking it out. But this is okay. It looks like Terran hasn't even finished his expansion yet. If Terran had expanded right when he pushed, he'd be winning so bad, but now he's only 4 supply up. And all Milkiss needs to do is bust out of his base, and he will have this high Colossus number, and he should be okay. It looks like... What the hell? There's a supply depot? What is going on? Build the supply depots here, man. What are you doing? Just hold this as long as you can. And at this point, he doesn't really have the power to bust up against the ramp. He doesn't have what he needs to take out these 3 Colossus. He doesn't really have the Viking production that you would want. He only has 1 here, and I think 1 flying across the map. Never mind, he just has 2. The second one just popped out of the starport. There it is. But here comes the push. Oh my gosh. Stalkers working away at the air and taking out the Banshee. Finally gonna let these Colossus do their thing, do their duty, and just kill everything. Dang it. Colossus pretty good. Don't want to lose it to the Viking though. And now he can finally push out of his base. And good job, Milkiss. Look at the supply. It is back in his favor. And he actually saved all 3 of these Colossi, which have, holy crap, 39 kills between them. In fact, 40, because he's just rallying his army in there. And now Terran is actually on the back foot. Milkiss should save up to 400 minerals and definitely throw in a Nexus as soon as possible. But he will be able to do a counter push. In fact, he's just not going to throw down a Nexus. He's going to attack right now. This is crazy. He's bringing a probe. He's going to build a proxy pylon somewhere. Let's see if we can scout it. I don't see it anywhere, but this is going to be very all in for Milkiss. He's just saying, fuck it, I hate you, Terran. And he's going to kill the shit out of this Terran, and it's going to work. Because this army is starting to get pretty big. He should get around to Zealots to do some tanking. There is the proxy pylon. But with this... but it's not, it's my girlfriend, it's not the job company. With the Colossus, he'll just be able to pick away at there. This Viking is the only thing really to be frightened of. Once it goes down, you can just sit back and let the range of the Colossus do its work for you. Huh, that doesn't do damage to the SCVs. So that's weird. But you can just target the SCVs at this point. Here come the Zealots to do tanking, and these Stalkers move in to do a lot of damage, and these Colossus, I mean, Jesus Christ, they have, yeah, so much damage, and Terran's gonna GG. So that is the game. Let's take a look at the changes for this, because I'm kind of curious. Okay, so I think you guys should be able to see this. Terrans have undergone significant changes since we talked at BlizzCon. We have not kept the Shredder, and even the Warhound is in contention. The Shredder is very confusing for players. Yeah, the Shredder sucked. Rarely used for the intended role of map control. It's something that is easily used to kill a large number of workers with little or no warning. So yeah, that was a very shitty unit. Experimenting with a wide range of units, a great deal of trouble with Terrans because they're very flexible in Wings of Liberty. So basically giving them more units just gives them an infinite number of stuff. Keeping the Thor, experimenting with anti-air spider mine, which would give the Terrans a way to build some factory-built anti-air into small places that a Thor has trouble reaching, like near your minerals. Anti-air spider mine. Very interesting. Protoss have gone through some changes. The Oracle is still in, functioning as a Protoss raider. Then give Protoss some reach in the mid-game to disrupt enemy plans. The Replicant has been cut, thank God. Causing enemy players to not build certain unit types, actually removing diversity from the game instead of adding it. That's pretty much what I would expect. Tempest is a powerful splash unit. With the addition of the range upgrade in Phoenix, we no longer feel splash anti-air weaponry is necessary. So it's currently a long-range aerial siege weapon that can strike. Oh my god! So it's a carrier, but it's going to be good. So if, yeah. This gives the Protoss army some real reach to force an engagement on their terms in the endgame. Don't they already have that? I feel like they already have that. Recall on the Nexus. Okay, Zerg are the most stable and largely unchanged as BlizzCon. The Swarmhost is still serving well as a Zerg siege unit. The Viper has some slightly new abilities. In addition to Abduct, which was the grabby thing, has the ability to blind biological units in area of effect. Blind units have their range reduced to 1. So it's sounds exactly like Darkswarm. Obviously effective against Terran infantry as well as Zerg, Roach, and Hydra armies. Viper can also regain energy by feeding off the minerals. Stocks of mineral patch prevents it from being harvested, so you'll want to use this ability away from your base. Keep the Overseer and make the Viper a pure caster. Look at the Overseer to see if we can make his abilities more interesting. Additional abilities on the Nidus Webwork to see different types of Nidus worms. Most interesting worms have been worms that can spew creep across several screens to create a Zerg assault highway, as well as a worm that attacks only enemy buildings, meant to be used as a ground-based Zerg-based raider. Some more to do. This song is awesome. Okay, well that's about it. So I'm going to end this cast, but I'll talk to you guys later.